What's up, Rockstars and Lambs? It's Josh Cooley here, coming to you from Studio J Rye. I just wanted to film because I was supposed to film a J Rye affirmation yesterday and I didn't have the opportunity to. Quick feedback, a lot of you already know this, but I was getting ready to film my J Rye affirmation, which I do every Friday, and I turn on my phone in between my clients, and I was informed that my grandfather had passed away. We were expecting it, so it wasn't something that really shocked me, but it just isn't fun when people pass away. You know what I mean? There's not really a good time for that. So my J Rye affirmation, my affirmation for the week, if you will, is to not forget those that are close to you. And the reason I want to talk about that is because there's people that we come into contact with in life. And we go in and we go out with some people, and we have a chemistry and we have this biorhythm, if you will, with them. And we wonder why there's so much tension. I'll get to that point. Then we have people that we make this deep connection with. We love them forever. We separate, and when we see them again, we just keep we keep on talking where we left off. And that's a different kind of a soul connection. Then you've got the connections in life that show you things about yourself, the mirrors in life that are momentary. Sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're drinking buddies, sometimes they're classmates when we're in college. And we meet them and then we never talk again. They were our college friend or whatever. They showed us a lot. We experimented with them. We probably did a lot of dumb shit with them, you know, but they're close connections with us. You know, the second one that's talking about the close connection that's unending and ever dying is that unconditional love that you have for a person even when they're not there. And it's funny because the more that you're connected with a person in your formative years before the age of 8, it's proven you'll act a lot like that person, and even more so before the age of 3 in your embryonic stage as well. What your mom was feeling, you'll act like that person. And then I was talking about the very first one. The very first one, you have that biorhythm with some people where it's up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. I have all three. I have people that are business acquaintances that I've learned a lot from that I don't talk to anymore. I have deep, deep soul connections that I can talk where I left off with some certain friends of mine, and I know I don't have to talk to them every day. And then I have people that I have a little friction with. And my friction normally happens with my family, or those that I call people that are my blood. They're people that are just so close to me that they are part of my being. And I have that biorhythm with them because they do something that the mirrors in our lives, those people in college, show us. They show us everything that we don't like about ourselves and everything that we do like about ourselves. So the biorhythms, the reason we have that biorhythm is because it's a continuous flow. It's like a cord that's plugged into the wall. The other people that are just mirrors, they're just stuck on the wall. There's no energy coming from the wall. But when something is plugged in the wall, there's energy coming from the wall, if you get the metaphor I'm going with. My grandfather was a biorhythm for me. He taught me a lot in terms of work ethic when I was little. The man got up every day at like 5 in the morning, went to work at 6, came back to my grandma's house at 11:30, ate lunch, left at 12:30, went back to work at 1, came back home at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. Repeat, repeat, repeat. It was just like rinse, wash, repeat. I mean, it was, well, I'm sorry, wash, rinse, repeat was his life, but it was all in terms of work. And I had a biorhythm with him because as he got older and as my grandparents aged, they divorced eventually. And when they divorced, he met another lady that was younger than my mom, younger than, I think, a year older than my uncle, and married her, and they had a child together. So there is a 2-year-old with my grandpa's DNA walking around, and his wife, who is survived by, as well as all of us from the first line of people from my union with his union with my grandma. And the biorhythm with him is that I see so much of my tendencies from when I was a little kid. I was growing up with them half the time when I was 12, up till about the time I was 12 years old or so. And, you know, I have a coffee addiction because of him. He was a very good-looking man who knew he was good-looking. Some would say conceited. He used to take me to the mirror all the time. And he would say, look at that guy in the mirror. That guy is the most handsome man in the entire world. And I still do that. My sister still does that. We're very conceited with the way we look. And sometimes I have moments where I have really bad self-esteem and I don't think highly of myself. But when I do think highly of myself, I remind myself of my grandfather. I remember buying popsicles and stuff with him. But I also remember that when he left my grandma and they finally divorced, I felt like my own parents were divorcing. And my biorhythm with him kicked in. I no longer wanted to speak to the man. And in the last 9 years, I probably haven't done a lot of speaking. So as he passed on at noon on Friday, all of these things, all this connection, that cord plugged into the wall of my connection with him got unplugged. And I was like, it was like when your flat iron burns out. You don't really want another one. You want the same one that you had. You don't want another iPod charger. I don't want to get another one because that's the one I had. And so I will never have another grandfather like my grandfather that just passed. But what he's taught me is to not forget where I came from, not to forget those connections in my life, not to forget the one close to me. And I have a very good friend of mine that I go up and down with, and I love it because we're critical with each other. I have another friend that's more of a theatrical girl, and we don't go up and down. We show each other lots of stuff. She's a mirror in my life. I don't know how long she'll stay around, but I know that I appreciate her mirroring things now. I know that the one that has a biorhythm attached to him is probably somebody that's going to be around for a very, very long time. And this passing of my grandfather has shown me that I need to hold my connections close, because we never know how long we're going to have, because things can go south really fast like his health did, and they're gone. And so I want you this week in your affirmation to think about the people that are closest to you or that cherish you the most. And I just want you to remind yourself to keep the ones close to you close. That's it. Have a good week. I'll talk to you later.